So hi everyone, this is Anshul Agrawal. Here at We Are Helping. So I did a summer intern at Qualcomm and there I got PPO. So I will be joining Qualcomm as a full time from this January onwards. So today we are having Shubham Parasar with us. So he has received multiple intern offers. So we will be learning through his experience and his journey how he had got multiple offers at the topmost companies. So hi Shubham, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing. Congratulations that you have got multiple offers.
Thank you.
So, can we have a quick introduction of yours?
Yeah, so I'm Shubham Prasha. I'm a final year student at SRM NCR campus. I've solved over 471 DSA problems, and right now I have four job offers from Wipro, Zenoti, 1mg, and Nurture.farm. And I have decided to join Nurture.farm as an SD intern right now, and I have the full-time offer from the June.
Oh, that's nice. Great. So basically, that's a great journey. You must be having a great journey. So,
Mhm.
talking about the very first thing, coding. So there are two type of people, like who started coding from the very first year, and there are another kind of people who started coding just 2-3 months before the intern session. So
Mhm.
when did you exactly started coding? What was your
Yeah, so from end of the second year or maybe the some months before the second year ends, I downloaded a Udemy course and I started to learn Python and basics of Python from there. And I also started to solve very basic loop problem based on loops and stuff. So yeah, that's how I got started with coding.
Okay, that's great. And I was just going through your LinkedIn profile and I read consistency, like you wrote that in
Mhm.
your bio. So consistency is very important in the coding field, right? Because
Yeah.
you can't just like you code 3 days and you stop at the fourth day. So you can't
Mhm.
achieve anything with that. So how do you maintain that consistency? What is the motivation behind that?
See, to be consistent, you should know your goals, right? What you want to achieve. So, if you want to be consistent, divide your time, divide your days, divide your months, right? For me, I bought a whiteboard and wrote everything that I want to do. I divided my days, and that really helped me to achieve my goal and be consistent. Yeah.
Okay, so you're saying that planning proper things, like planning and organizing that till this date you have to achieve this, until that you have to achieve that. So yeah, that
Yeah.
will help. Okay, cool.
Mhm.
That's great. Okay, so I guess you have applied for these offers off campus, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
So what's the procedure for that? How did you apply it, and have you approached anyone? Have you took referral from anyone, or you just went to the pages and applied there? So what was the procedure?
For some posting, I did use the referrals. For example, at Google, I used the referral. At 1mg, I approached Sushil Chaudhary on LinkedIn, and he referred me there. So yeah, sometimes I just applied to careers and it worked for me. But usually, the good thing is to use a referral as the chances increases. Yeah.
Okay, so as you said, you applied through referrals. So are people on LinkedIn like helpful? Because most of the people say they didn't get any responses when they ask for referral. So what was the scenario in your case?
I think most people we try to approach on LinkedIn, they are busy, right? They're full-time software developers at the top companies, right? So they don't really have
Right.
that time to use LinkedIn on the working hours. So if you're trying to approach them, you should have a structured text that is saying what you want, what you are, and the job ID as well. So if you use that, your chances to get a reply increases exponentially.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, our audience who wants to apply off campus will definitely use this. So
Mhm.
I guess we are having COVID time. So have you attended any of your semester in the college?
Well, the first 2 years or 1.5 year I went to college. Yeah, so that I attended.
Okay, nice. So, have you into any development society, or have you in the development field anytime?
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to join a society and work with them, but yeah, I did development along with the data structures and algorithms.
So, how do you compare? Like, because you have tried both the things, the development and the coding. What
Mhm.
makes interesting? What makes you feel happy?
I think both should be you done in an equal mixture so that you don't get bored. by doing one thing and you get burned out, right? So you should do both of them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, that seems to be nice. Optionally, basically, you have to try multiple things, and what makes you more interesting and more inclined, you can continue that.
Yeah, no, you should do both, right? You should not go and just do development. You should not go and just do DSA. You should do both.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do you make projects? And basically, in your resume, you have to include projects, right? You have
Hmm.
to include that. So, how do you approach that? Because you have done a limited development. So, how do you develop projects so that it will make a good impact on your resume?
Well, you if when you're doing DSA, right, you get proficient with one language. Now you go and explore what development project you can make with that language, right? So this will help you in DSA as well, as you find new things, new syntaxes, new ways to do things efficiently. So that's how I did development. That it also helped me in the data structures and algorithms. And you do get to use the algorithms in the projects as well.
Okay, so got it. So I think you have done a lot of DSA, right? So have you preferred any particular platform, or how did you started coding?
Yeah, so instead of platforms, I preferred questions, right? Because there are very interesting questions on Spotch. Then there are some questions that are not available on Geeks for Geeks, but they are on Lead Code. On Geeks for Geeks, you're going to find the article only. So instead of going for the platform, you should go and follow questions, follow Sheet. There are good developers out there who are pushing Sheet on the internet. Like for example, Striver. You should go and follow his Sheet, and
Yes.
yeah, you should do questions instead.
Yeah, because people are confused. Like there are thousands of questions on the
Mhm.
platform, which question they should do and what should
Mhm.
they should not do. So yeah, that's a like there should be a classifier. Okay, these are the good questions. These are the
Yeah.
standard ones. So you should practice
Mhm.
that. Okay, that's a good thing. So can you please tell us about your interview journey and the coding part? What kind of questions you get? Like what is the level? Hard, medium, easy? What is the common approach?
Yeah, so I started my interview journey with Zomato, where I was very nervous and I failed that interview even after coding things right. So yeah, and after that I gave an interview at Amazon Berlin, right, where the two process.
Okay.
So yeah, I think, and after that I gave the interview at London, Amazon London, then 1mgs, and then Zenoti, then at Nurture.farm. So what I learned is that questions are going to be based on the standard problems, right? And they will change the problem statement. They will change the way you're going to interpret the question, right? But the all the questions are going to be based on the standard problems, so you should know how to do those problems.
Yes, right. Maybe Mala, like there are some standard questions, and if you go through them, you will know how to approach the new questions. What is the
Hmm.
thinking process? You get to used to that. Okay, nice.
Yeah.
So as you mentioned, like you got nervous at one of your interview process, and most of us got nervous. So
Mhm.
how do you tackle that? Like when you go to the interview or you got nervous, so what's the motivation? What is the thing that makes you there with the interviewer? So how do you
See
handle
what
that nervousness?
See, what mistake I made was never giving the mock interviews and directly going and giving the interviews, right? So I think for me, how I tackled is was failing the interviews and learning from them. But for people watching this video, I'd suggest you go and find people like Sushil Chaudhary on LinkedIn who are readily available for to take your mock interviews, right? That way, you're going to fail in a very safe environment where you're going to learn things. So yeah, that's something I'd suggest.
Yeah, so basically you're saying that people should have a mock interview, a practice session, so that they get used to the conversation and what kind of questions they can ask.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, that's nice. So basically in the technical interviews, in the HR round, so have you prepared separately for them, like for the HR questions and stuff?
Yeah, so I had a couple of interviews at Amazon Europe, right? So Amazon really focuses on leadership principle. That is your HR thing, right? Half of the interview
Hmm.
would be your coding, and half would be the leadership principle. So yeah, I did learn, I did study a lot about the HR rounds as well, and
Okay,
mostly it
cool.
was from YouTube.
Nice. So basically, the people preparing should go through the YouTubes and the demo interview rounds, like what kind of questions they can ask. Yeah.
Yeah, you
Okay.
should find some resource for that. Yeah.
And one of the most important question is usually people ask to me is English compulsory to be an interview or to crack an interview? What are your thoughts about that? Because people who don't know English or who don't have any fluency on English, and they're comfortable in Hindi, but they're scared that should I get rejected in this round or not because of my fluency. So what is your say in this?
See, English is not mandatory. I mean, English is a medium for you to translate your thoughts to the interviewer, right? And maybe your interviewer is sitting at a state that is in the southern part of the country, and Hindi is not his native language. So for sake of that, you should know English, not very fluent. You're not going to be a news reporter. You're going to be a coder. So it's all right to be a
Yes.
little bad at English, and but in the end, you should know English because the documentation would be in English. Everything would be in English when you're coding, right? So that's a bit important.
So basically, it's not a compulsory thing, but it could be an advantage to you if you know that.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
sometimes you can even ask for the interviewer that you want to give the interview in Hindi, and if the interviewer is like comfortable with Hindi, he'll allow you to do so.
yeah. If you're getting nervous just because of the English, then you can ask that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So since you have applied off campus, so you got referral from many people, right?
Mhm.
So how do they like judge your resume? Because resume is the most important thing. So would you suggest anything that people could improve in their resume, and what things you put in your resume so that you got the referral basically? Your resume got
Yeah,
shortlisted and you got the referral.
yeah, have data in your resume. If you are ranked fifth in your university, put that in your resume. Don't put vague statements, right? So when you do that, there's a high chance that someone is going to shortlist your resume or someone is going to give you the referral. So yeah, that's something I want to tell. Be concise and put numbers.
Okay, put numbers. Okay. So basically, whatever hackathons or the small things that a person has achieved, he has to put that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So has experience matter, like if a person is applying for an internship, he must be a freshie. So is that intern thing matter or any experience matter in the resume?
Well,
Like if you're not having that.
So if you are a fresher, all that is going to matter is if you are a good problem solver or not. If you are given a vague statement, can you convert and solve that problem? Yeah, but sometimes internship do matters when you're applying for full-time FTE, right? So, but for internships, it don't matter.
Okay. One more like interesting question. CGPA, right? So the people in first year, second year are very much confused that how much contribution CGPA makes to the resume and to the interviewer. So what do you think about like what should be the minimum CGPA and what people should get?
Well, don't take risk and have a CGPA over 7.5 in your college so that you don't get rejected just because of that. But usually it is not going to happen, right? So all you need to do is have a CGPA that is over 7.5 and just focus on your coding and development. Nothing else will matter that much. Yeah.
Okay, so basically, you're saying that most of the companies put normal CGPA that a
Mm.
normal person can maintain, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, yeah. So people don't have to run behind the like a large number of CGPA, but yeah, that would be a good point. That would be a plus point for them if they get a good CGPA.
Yeah.
The main thing is they have to be a good problem solver and should have a good resume, I guess, good number
Yeah.
of projects.
Yeah, but having a
Okay,
higher
so
CGPA helps off campus. So yeah.
yeah, okay. Means that would be a plus point to you. It's not a
Yeah.
compulsory thing. You should have a like a threshold so that you can sit for the placements.
Yeah,
You should
exactly.
cross
Yeah.
that criteria, and if you're having above that, that would be a plus point.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So basically, I guess you went through a number of interviewers and a number of interviews. So uh, at any time you feel like you're not having enough confidence or you're not capable to crack the interview. So how you crack that thing, that nervousness, that burden, how you went over that?
Yeah, it is always going to happen that in some interview you're not going to able to solve a problem, right? But you should not uh, let that pull you down. You should actually see that you're lacking something, and then you have to improve. For example, if you sit in an interview and he asks you a DP question and you're not able to solve it, it means you're bad at DP. Just go through some questions at DP and improve, right? So yeah, that's the approach that I used.
Okay, so people should not get nervous. Like they should review the interview process, where they went wrong, and what are the fields they can improve. So,
Yeah, interviews are
so the next time
interviews
they come back stronger.
Yeah, interviews is not a humiliation session, right? So you should be humble enough to understand that there are some things that you need to improve. So don't let that depress you. Take a break and then work on those things, right? So yeah, that's one suggestion I like to give.
Okay. So you're talking about breaks. So just a fun question. What activities you perform to take a break or having fun at your home?
Yeah, so I used to play video games when I used to take break. So that's what I did.
Nice. Okay, yeah, breaks are also necessary because if you continuously working or coding, that will not make sense. So breaks are compulsory. Take break and come back stronger. That's the whole thing, and maintain the consistency simultaneously so that you achieve good results. So yeah, I guess we are going great. So anything that you want to suggest to the new ones, to the first year, second year, and to the people who are trying for the interviews and they're not getting any call or stuff?
Yeah, I'd say go to LinkedIn and find yourself a mentor, someone who went through what you want to go through, and learn through their mistakes. There would be plenty of people who would be happy to help. And search for Sushil Chaudhary on LinkedIn. He'd be happy to take your mock interviews, and that's how you're going to crack the interview. And I guess tension नहीं लेना हो जाएगा है ना Indian हो ही जाता है.
Yeah, so basically at last what all matters is consistency. You have to just take practice sessions, mock tests, so that you will be comfortable with the interviewer.
Mhm.
And yeah, definitely you'll crack it. So yeah, thanks Shubham. We had a great session with you, and I hope that
Thank
our
you.
audience will like it and will get benefit from this. Thank
Yeah,
you so
thank you
much.
for having me. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.